It's thinking, it's trying, it's having a tough time. Oh, it's tough. And it looks like we're live, Bubbles. We're live and going, Bubbles. We're live, Bubbles. Hey, good evening. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of our program, where we talk about Agile jobs across the world and some news, look at some tech companies that are well known out there and some of the tools we use and stuff like that. I'm thinking, though, and this is October 25th, 2022, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to do a little more job-related stuff. Not tonight, but in the future, I'm going to give tips on jobs, locating jobs, what to look for, negotiating salaries, how to prepare for interviews and things like that. So not only are we going to talk about what jobs are out there, but also things that you can use for pursuing jobs. So I think that would be helpful to everyone. So try and change it up a little bit, change up the content. Maybe every once in a while we'll do a job thing versus look at all the tweets out there, but it's just something to do. And today we're going to start with the tech data. All right, so we're going to look at a chart, see what's out there. I'm going to turn on the banners so that we can see the numbers scroll. Like I said, try to do this so that don't have to read everything on the chart. I know I got podcasts out there and I convert this to a podcast. And sometimes it's nice to hear what's going on if you're in the podcast world. But I'm just going to go over the highlights there. And we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube broadcasting. I might try to do more later, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So since last week, things got a little better across the Agile world here in the United States. So in the U.S., Agile business analysts went up. Business analysts went up. So the Agile business, now look at this. So the business analysts went up 852 postings. The Agile business analysts went up 1,000. So it went up 10%, where the business analysts only went up a fraction. So having the Agile part and knowledge from a business analyst can't hurt you at all, right? It'd be a positive. Scrum Masters went up a little bit. Remote jobs, the remote jobs are coming down. Sorry to say. But the remote stuff is coming down. Agile product owner, Agile, again, flipping the jobs around. Pretty steady. Same thing, 17,000 for product owner Agile, and Agile product owner is 5,800. So remember, you got to play with the names around what you get findings for jobs. I think Eddie wants me to look at Indeed too. So every once in a while, I'll pick a different search engine and we'll highlight that. I'm not going to track them all the time, but it'll be interesting to compare what these different search engines, how close they are to what LinkedIn has from a job perspective. So we'll check in that too. That'll be another add to the program. Agile product owner, pretty steady. We already talked about that. Agile project manager, that went up at that 1,300. The remote went down a little bit, but nothing major. Project manager went down. So again, you got project manager, but if you're a project manager with Agile background, you expand your opportunities out there. So it doesn't hurt. And it keeps your possibilities up high. Enterprise coach went up a little bit across the country, but went down everywhere else, to be honest with you. Agile coach still went down about 10% here across the United States. Agile remote pretty much stayed the same, but again, 35,000 jobs across the U.S. for Agile remote. Using the word Agile, again, a big number is 305,000 positions. So if you're a developer, whatever, it went down 12,000, but that's still not 10%. That's like 3% compared to 350,000 jobs out there that have Agile in the name. So there's your numbers for the United States for the past month. And again, I do an average of the past month. We'll look at it because just like in Scrum, where these teams want to look at what do you say, each sprint. Oh my God, we went down. Oh my God, we went up. No, it's like you're better off doing an average and not sweating it so much. So now we're going to jump over to EU. So let's look at the EU jobs. Agile business analyst went up more than the business analyst did. So there's, again, a good combination there. Scrum Master went down in the EU, but Scrum Master remote went up a little bit, the hair. So I guess they decided, oh, maybe we should hire some remote people. Product owner Agile went down 31. Agile product owner went up. So they're pretty stable. 6,000 in the EU for the product owner Agile, and Agile project owner for about 4,000. So whatever the combination is, you can see what the difference is. Don't be discouraged. Agile product manager, again, still pretty high up there with 19,000. And let's see, anything good? Project manager, pretty stable. Down, I guess, what is that? It's about 1% maybe. Agile coach went up in the EU. Good for people in the Agile coach world. And remote pretty much stayed the same. Agile remote's up there, and Agile's still pretty good. So that's the EU. I looked a little bit. Everything's looking a little better. Not as red as it was last week. I mean, it rarely went red last week. So let's look at my hometown here, Philly, the home of the winning Philadelphia Phillies. Okay, I know I promised this morning I wouldn't talk about it anymore, so I won't. So everything's pretty stable. Went up a hair for everything. Agile business analyst up just a little bit. Scrum Master, again, up tad. It's not going down anymore. Remote jobs, still the same as last time. Product owner Agile, down a little bit. Let's see, anything good. Agile project manager, again, 1,600 positions compared to project manager that has 6,000 positions. So in theory, if you put the two together, instead of a 6,000 pool of going for, if you had a little Agile in your background, you got over 7,600, right? So that's why Agile's good to know multiple things as a project manager. I'll be honest with you. If you're a project manager, you're going to be doing some Agile, some waterfall, Kanban, buying materials. So there's all kinds of stuff related that knowing multiple disciplines doesn't hurt. Agile coach, pretty steady. And again, Agile, 19,000 jobs here in Philadelphia area, up 500 that require Agile. So, get a cert, go out there, study something, learn, watch my videos. At least you can talk the talk with the Agile, even if you're not certified. Watch my videos and you'll learn all kinds of stuff about it. Again, CSM is still a lot bigger than PSM. I know a lot of friends. I had some people were talking to one of my coworkers. He's going for a PSM 3, but it's hard to get. But still, CSM's 10,000, PSM's 2,000. Think about your audience. Safe Agile, pretty much stable. Less, still the same. About 1,100 people looking for 1,100 positions that talk about less. It's a good stuff to know. And I would, and if you haven't done it, if you're going to do enterprise, I mean, you want to know safe, you want to do less, and you want to know there's SPC, you want to look at those other ones, and there's DAD out there. There's Nexus, that's the PSM, the scrum.org is Nexus. It's good to know there's different enterprise level or scaling type activities. SPC Agile, pretty same. And the PMP, again, 273,000 went PMP. So, everyone says, oh, Agile is the world and everything's Agile. I'm like, yeah, be realistic here. It's not all Agile. Well, and I love Agile more than I like the waterfall, but, it is what it is. Let me zoom out just a tad bit. I mean, you can see the comparisons here, except for my big old head in the way. Yeah. There we go. Legal. Look at this is USA and EU comparing the two, right? So here's USA, 305,000 Agile jobs versus 152,000. Project manager, 146, 40,000 in those realms. And again, if anybody has a country or continent or something you want me to look at, we'll look at that. Here's Philadelphia jobs for the past month. Again, Agile 19,000, Agile Remote 6, Project Manager. So here's a Scrum Master 3,000, one of the top jobs here. That's an Agile related thing. It's 3,000. So if you're a business analyst, and I went to that IIBA meeting last week and presented how to build $1 million team, and we'll see. And I guess that's good enough for now. So now let's look at the tracking. So I'm going to go to my graphs, maybe. Hello. There we go. Let's look at these graphs here. So if we look at the greater Philadelphia, put the banner on for Philly. Now we got Philly jobs. Again, we saw like really took a dive, and then nice thing, it's leveling out. So it's not still diving. It seems like they corrected, and now maybe they're at steady state. So from Philadelphia, we're leveled out as far as the number of postings. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it grows or stays stable. Besides the R word, we'll see how that goes. Here's the USA. So let's look at USA. And USA scroll bar and the USA jobs. Pretty steady state. So these ones in the red are project managers. So we're leveled out past 2 weeks, 146. Everything looks like it's leveling out. Now the green, what's this green one? Agile project manager hinted up a little bit over time. So while all the other jobs are going down, the Agile project manager actually went up compared in the previous weeks, and it's pretty steady, and it's actually going up a little bit. So it makes you wonder, everyone wants to deliver product because that's how they make money during the R word. So you want to do the Agile. Let's look at EU real quick here. So we're looking at EU jobs, should be scrolling. Yep. And EU also came down like 2 weeks ago, but it has stabilized, right? And then what's this green one here? Agile project manager, again, going back up. Here's one line. What's this one? Agile remote popped up again a little bit. So, everyone's like, well, why should I know Agile? I know waterfall, whatever. It expands your universe of potential job opportunities. I would never discount that as and if you have a job now and your work will pay for it, I'd get a cert. That would be my advice. All right, we're going to do Twitter thing in a little bit. So let's look at some companies that we use in the Agile world a lot. Here's Altesian Group Corp, makers of Jira, Confluence, Trello now, because I know they bought Trello up. I know they were talking about a bunch of things. Here's their stock. It's up 5% today. Wow. Okay, how's it going the past week? It's up 5%. So it looks like a lot of the gains. That's kind of weird. So today, it's up 5% for the day, right? Over the past week, it's up 5%. So for the week past 5, I would say. Altesian employee who use remote work policy shares advice. Might be something to look at. I'll have to look at that. Maybe I'll report on it tomorrow. 24 hours, nothing special, but that would be interesting. So there's an article on how they used remote work policy shares advice on that. So that would be a good thing. So Altesian's going good. Since we're doing, let's do U.S. jobs. Scroll some U.S. jobs across the board. Microsoft stock up 1, and then it looks like it dropped after hours. I wonder if they put out a quarterly report. Oh, God, that's not going to be good. Let's see. Microsoft dropped 6% after revealing weak guidance on earnings call. So it didn't have a very good earnings call. It's 2 hours, Microsoft hit by personal computing slowdown. People aren't buying laptops, I guess. GitHub now has 1 billion RRR. I don't know what that is. Okay. Does Microsoft own GitHub too? Oh, by the way, Microsoft owns LinkedIn. So there's part of that, right? So that's another thing we use, and we're using that in this show. So we have 5 days. It's gone up 5%, pretty good growth over the past 5 days compared to just today. Let's see what it looks like in a month. It's going back up, but with that report, maybe you got a deal buying that Microsoft stock. But we just showing how the business is going. Amazon, maker of AWS, which people tend to love, but they don't realize you still have to take care of it and make sure your security protocols are there. They just think it's all magically done. Solid momentum. Amazon driver found, no, that's sad. PayPal shares rise after Amazon adds Venmo as checkout option. So Venmo and PayPal. Okay, so Amazon's new is in Venmo. So that's a software add, a modification, right? Another way of taking in revenue. They're up 5% for the past week here at Amazon. Okay. Broadcom, maker or owner of Rally, and lots of chips out there. Banks on early. That's a week ago. That was last week, a month ago, 3 hours ago. Stock rises, still underperforms market, outpaces stock market. So it looks like it went up high and now it's kind of going up and down back to where it was. Up 6.3% for the week. So probably one of the best performers for a week-wise look at it, right? Let's say Apple stock had a big spike. Someone bought a lot of it. After hours trading. Stock Iron Condor. I don't know what that means. Spotify takes aim at Apple over audiobooks launch on App Store. Oh, okay. Spotify's doing audiobooks. Makes sense. They got audio, right? You can do books too. So Apple's up 7.62. So the best growth for all the stocks we looked at today. Let's do some EU stuff. Let that roll. Google. All right, Google. It's up 1.9%, but then dropped. So I'm guessing they did a report today and it didn't look too good either. Alphabet misses earnings as YouTube shrinks. Company will cut headcount to grow. So it looks like they're going to lay some people off there at Google and YouTube maybe. So it looks like they got competition. And for the week, they're up almost 4.5%. So for a week, they're good, but overnight, they dropped. So they may have been up. Let's say it says 104. And today, after hour trades, back to 98. So whatever they had is they're back down to actually losing money for the week. So you have to understand what the graphs are saying. Okay. Comcast. So let's go back to Philly. Look at Philly jobs. Comcast is a Philadelphia-based company. For the day, they're up 1.5%. And they didn't drop after hours, so I guess they didn't do a stock report. Anything good? Stock is rolling. Cable sector could improve after Q3. Citibank upgrades Comcast. Well, that's good for Comcast. Past 5 days, a growth factor up 2.7%. So that's good. Comcast is doing well. All right, now we're going to look at Zoom, and I'm going to put back the certs. Show the certs here in the United States. Up 4% today, but it looks like it dropped too. So I guess everyone's earning calls. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know who these estimators are, but they've been so bad this year across the board. Probably like, what do you mean? It's just been bad. They're up 8.48% for the week, but they're down today and after hours training back to where they started. So to see. All right. So that's that. Going to Twitter. So if you go to my 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Twitter page, you can find our lists. And in our list, you can follow along on the Agilist list. And this is a list of different Agile people across Twitter, what they do. Feel free to put this in your daily look and see what's going on. Just try to make it where I built a little list so I can scroll through and see what's going on in the Agile world every once in a while. And definitely do it during the show. So, all right. So, anything good? Planning event template. Boy, that's getting complicated. Must be a big event for such a complicated template. Let's say, Al, shall we? When you have a set approach, you are not a consultant or a coach. You are a salesperson. If you have to convince your client to use your solution. When you have multiple approaches or are using first principle, you can see their problem and give them a solution. Interesting. Okay, let's say Al's been tweeting a lot today. What I say? Bob Hartman. This is part of my why I'm not in this situation, but this is, for me, part why I care about Agile and making it more well known. Okay, Mr. Robeat. Being a manager has provided a rich opportunity to confront the more difficult aspects of my personality. Okay. Managing my son's care team at the hospital is taking every trick I know. They don't know, but I am walking the board every time I see them. Interesting. Okay. COVID spike. I don't know. I want to talk about COVID. I didn't say the word. Doesn't exist. Al Stark voted. There you go. Good job. Wait, thanks for voting. Scott Graves. Agile Otter. Tim, we retweeted this one. We all wanted Waterfall to work. Having the correct requirements all written down so you could design and build it in one shot was our utopian fantasy. I like that one. I'm going to retweet that one. Nobody was dying to constantly refactor. It was just we had to do. Okay. It's just funny. It was utopian there for that, having all the requirements. Always laugh when people tell me stuff. ThoughtWorks. No, nothing good. Happy Clappy Scrum. Okay, this is Spanish or something. I wish I had a translate. Can I translate it? No. I'll have to translate it later. There's a zombie in there for Zombie Scrum, maybe. Like the cartoon. So you can interpret, even if you don't speak the language, you can figure it out. Okay, Alan. Motivation starts shifting and suddenly an entire system starts mattering. And you start working to optimize the system as a whole. To truly optimize, we need to look at the entire system. I agree. Mike Cohn, what's he got here? Halloween costumes for Scrum teams. It's a gift. What does that mean? To do something? I don't know. It's not doing anything. It's okay. I guess he's suggesting. Here we go. Where's Jerry when you need him? He was here causing havoc. Ministry testing. Are you interested in people X-ray? No, it's fine. Okay, dad joke warning. Why do Ewoks never shout in the house? They're using their Endor voices. Okay, that's a bad joke. That's a bad dad joke. Okay. So that's it. Got some more Mike Cohn. Okay, he was out there tweeting today. D is for okay. Here we go. Let's see what this says. Oh God, is this in order? Does it spell something? Okay, splitting user stories. It's something I get asked about every day. I got asked so much, I invented SPIDER acronym to make it easy to remember the 5 simple but powerful ways to split user stories. Okay, I'm going to retweet. I'm going to retweet it. Okay, that's 1. 2, S is for Spike. That's the one you're probably all familiar with. Spike is a research activity, give you knowledge you need to split a complex story. An example might build versus buy decision involving new component. Okay, I'm going to retweet that. And then my P for path. If a user is doing something multiple ways, it's a great area to split. An example might be paying via credit card, Apple Pay. Well, we saw that thing with Amazon taking a Venmo, right? One story could make it possible to pay by card. Next one, my Apple Pay, or a Venmo, right? We just saw that today. Let me change my banner back to the United States. Change it up a little bit. All right, what's next? Here we got I for interfaces. Splitting a story by browser, hardware, delivering a complex interface and iterations. An example might be delivering a version that only works with Chrome. This iteration saving Safari for another iteration. Okay, I like that. Retweet. And we got D is for data. You may be able to deliver value in an iteration by simplifying, restricting data that's supported. I saw a really good or listened to a really good podcast about Agile data. There's a podcast out there called Agile Data. I would recommend. They were talking about a product chart, which is good. Had a lot of good questions. All right. Well, D for data. So we're going to like that, retweet that. And R for rules. Relaxing support for the rules and iteration can make large stories smaller. We talk about splitting stories by my upcoming webinar. So he's got a webinar coming up. So you know what? Definitely go for his webinar if you can. Can't hurt. Smart guy. All right. I think we did enough. I think we're good on the show. I want to thank everyone for logging in. I guess you'll see later on. There's 2 of me. Anyway, I want to wish you all the best. Good luck on the job hunt. Again, we're going to start some things where we're going to look at some other software out there. Like maybe we'll look at Indeed. Maybe we'll look at Dice. Maybe Monster was an old thing. I don't even Monster's still around. I don't get any emails from Monster anymore, so maybe they're gone. So at least Dice and Indeed will compare that on some different things to what kind of data results we get in LinkedIn. Look at some tips on jobs, applying for jobs, how to prepare for switch and transfer, what to get ready for now, because this is the getting ready here in the U.S. for the health insurance stuff. So we'll talk about that and how to prep for that, be prepared. And we'll change it up. So I don't know if I'll do that before I talk about the job postings in between. Maybe we'll replace that versus the Twitter stuff or the business side, or we'll see how that goes. But I want to thank you all and happy scrumming. Enjoy it. We'll see you next Tuesday. And I'll put these banners throughout the week and what we're doing and share that with you. And don't forget, November 2nd through 4th is the Agile Online Summit. It's free. I would register. I do post stuff up on that for going up in there. If you can't make it all, make some. You learn some stuff. It's free knowledge, and I do the happiness track. So that worked out pretty good. And I am going to post my IIBA presentation soon. We just got the audio things, so I'll have to play with that and edit that information. So with that, have a great day or evening, and we'll see you tomorrow bright and early. And with that, I say goodbye, Bubbles. Bubbles is out cold, so Bubbles won't be saying goodbye. I'll say goodbye. See ya. See y'all.